Hello, my beautiful podcast friends, and welcome back. Welcome to episode number 30, How to Mask a Muffin Top. Today, I'm going to be sharing all my best tips to help you smooth out the lumps, bumps, and bulges and look your fabulous best. So first, I want to share a review with you. I love hearing from my listeners. Actually, I've had a couple of you reach out to me recently from New Zealand, from Sweden, from the UK, and I am so excited. I love podcasting because I know I can reach women all over the world, but I just wish I could have a conversation with you all and see you face to face. So what I'd love to do is invite you. Go follow me over on Instagram at Style by Mary Michelle. And leave me a DM, send me a DM. Let me know what you loved about this episode. Let me know where you're listening from. I love to know. It's so amazing to look at my stats and see that I'm listened to by women in 26 or more countries. That just blows my mind that women in Mexico or Finland or Denmark or India, we're all here together. But we are all in this together, and I am here for you. I'm here to help you feel beautiful and share my best knowledge. So go hop on over there. Let me know where you're listening in from and what you'd love to hear about. But first, let me share a great review from California Beach Girl. She says, positivity and confidence. Such a great podcast. It helps to boost your mood, confidence, and your self-esteem. Michelle really helps to encourage you and give you strength. I only wish I could sit down over a glass of wine and talk life, style, and business with her in person. She really has so much knowledge to share, and I can't wait to hear more podcasts. California Beach Girl, I do too. I would love to sit down and share a glass of wine with you. Actually, I'd love to share a glass of wine with you all. If we could all have like a great girls' night out, how fabulous would that be? But this is the next best thing. So I am here for you. Reach out to me. Let me know where you're listening from and what you're up to, what you'd like to hear about, what you love. So go leave me a review on iTunes and let me know what you like about the podcast there as well. All right, today I'm going to give you some great tips on how to mask a muffin top. Now, first of all, let me just say that so many of us deal with muffin tops in many ways, shapes, and forms, and they can occur no matter what your weight is. In fact, I remember hearing Stacey London, who, if you remember her from What Not to Wear, she's a size 2 or a size 4. I remember her saying she was an hourglass shape. And when she wore jeans that didn't have a high enough rise, they gave her a muffin top. I was blown away by that because I guess I just thought you only get a muffin top if you have extra weight, but that's not the case. And the case is that sometimes you might have extra weight, but you don't have to have a muffin top. So anyway, lots to think about around that. But what I will say about having a muffin top is there is absolutely zero judgment. I am not here to judge anybody's weight, but what I do know is this is one of the most frequently asked questions by our community. How do you mask a muffin top? How do you slim it out? How do you, I keep wanting to say sleek it out. That doesn't really sound right. But anyway, when you can slim it out, sleek it out, it just looks more visually appealing. And it becomes less of a distraction. So much of what I teach is covering up things that I call distractions. They take away from you. They take away from how beautiful you can look. And I think oftentimes, sometimes you have a bra bulge or you have VPL, visible panty lines or something, because it's just the way things cut you off. And sometimes having a muffin top can result from being cut off at the wrong place. And it just doesn't feel right. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick story about having a muffin top because, girl, I know about having a muffin top. I think especially over 50, something happens over 40, really. Things start to just gravitate towards your middle. Have you noticed that? And as things gravitate towards your middle, you have a little extra, a little camouflage, never hurt. But years ago, way before I became a style coach, I remember having a pair of jeans that when I put them on, they cut me off in the wrong place. The rise just wasn't high enough. So they cut me off. They gave me a muffin top. They did some other things too that were not flattering. But for whatever reason, I got them on sale. I don't know how much I paid for them, but I made myself wear those. And every time I put them on, they made me feel grumpy. I was in such a bad mood when I wore those jeans. And what also happened was I started to tell myself, something's wrong with me. I'm too fat. I need to lose weight. It was just a whole bad vibe and did not work for me. So, what I want to encourage you is to just take these tips to heart. If you're wearing something currently that gives you a muffin top, ask yourself, do I even want to wear this anymore? Or is there a quick fix? So there might be a quick fix. So now my first tips. Tip number one is what I always encourage my clients to do is draw the eye upward. Now, when you can bring the focus to your face with your jewelry, your makeup, your colors that you wear, and do your hair, look your fabulous best. Draw the eye upward. It takes attention away from anything that I call your considerations. A muffin top would just be a consideration, just something to take note of, remedy, and move on, right? Not anything to dwell on. So draw the eye upward, bring the focus to your face, and see how beautiful it makes you feel. But my second tip, and this goes back to the pants that I just shared with you, wear clothes that fit. Wear clothes that fit your body. Like when I was trying to wear jeans that didn't have a high enough rise, they cut me off, gave me a muffin top, a camel toe, a wedgie. Like they were just not right. And I don't know what possessed me to even wear those in the first place. I really don't. I look back, I'm like, oh, honey, I wish I could just take my former self by the shoulders and say, girl, ditch them. They were not the right jeans. There was something better. If I had worn a pair of jeans that had a higher rise, I would have been great. I would not have made it about me. I would have just said, you know what? I look fabulous. I feel great. Let's move on. But instead, I suffered and I don't want you to suffer. So wear pants that fit your body. Wear jeans and pants that have a high enough rise. Wear shirts that are not too tight around the middle. And especially if you have a few extra pounds, make sure they're not pulling. If they are, it's just going to look tight. It's going to draw attention where you don't want it. So clothing that fits your body will also put you in a better mood. I promise you that. It won't cut you off. It won't have you feeling cranky. And it will not have you walking around focused on the wrong things. Wear clothes that fit. Yes. All right. Tip number 3. Now, I actually have 3 tips inside of number 3, but wear a top that camouflages a muffin top. The tops that you wear, the cut of the top can actually camouflage. And I'm going to give you 3 cuts that I love for camouflaging a muffin top. The first one is a bubble hem. I love tops with bubble hems. And I think years ago, we had this great top. It was a high-low, which is higher in front, lower in back, a high-low. And I remember when clients would come in with a little extra around the middle, somehow the bubble hem just gently skimmed the body. It camouflaged and was beautiful. And when they would pair that with skinny jeans or skinny pants, it just visually took off pounds and they loved it. So a bubble hem is great. The second one is to do a half tuck. If you have a top it's not long enough to be a tunic, but maybe it just comes straight across or it just hits you at the wrong place, it can kind of start to cling. Try a little half tuck. Half tucks give you a little extra, which can just be enough to offer a little camouflage. Because when you have a half tuck, it just like, you never know, you've got a couple extra bulges under there. I know for me, on days where I've got some bulges, I'm doing the half tuck. A lot of times I do a half tuck anyway, just because I don't like where a shirt hits me. But the half tuck, girl, that can be your secret weapon. Number 3, a tie front top. Now I'm talking about a top that has a tie at the waist. We've seen a lot of tops come in style in the past couple of years, and we've carried quite a few in the boutique. And I've found that those work really well. You don't want to have a big bow. You don't want to have anything that's going to draw attention. But when you just have a really subtle tie, just really simple, just provides a little ease. It helps things to gently skim the body without being tight or clingy. Now, my 4th tip, layers. I love layers. And actually, one of the layers, one piece that I have, in fact, I'm sure I'll be posting some videos sharing some of these to show you how to wear these. One thing that I love to do, I've got this great top. It is a tie front top, but sometimes with the tie front, they have a little opening that maybe shows your belly, and you might not want that. Well, layer a tank underneath. We've got these fabulous tanks at the boutique that most of them are nylon or a nylon spandex blend. And what happens is when you put those on, they just give you this nice, sleek look. They sleek you out. That's my new phrase. They sleek you out. But what happens is when you put those on, it's not like Spanx where it sucks you in, but it just smooths things out. And that alone when you have that, fabrics aren't as clingy when they're in the right fabric, and they just drape better. They don't grab. They don't grab your skin. They don't cling. They don't show everything. So wearing a layer maybe under a top that comes a little bit longer. I'll wear a longer tank that comes out just a little bit at the bottom. It smooths me out or sleeks me out, and it hangs a little bit below the top, which provides a nice visual interest, but it just visually hides things. It camouflages. But the other thing is, with layers, is to wear a jacket or a cardigan. I've found that to wear a top, and then maybe if you've got a little extra, a muffin top can manifest itself in a couple of different ways. Sometimes it's on the sides, sometimes it's on the back, get a little back fat. I know that's been a challenge for me, and I'm working on that. So I've actually lost a few pounds. I've lost about 9 pounds, and I've noticed it's come off and in the back fat area. And I am so grateful, because that has been a real trouble spot for me. And even when I work out, although I could do a better job of working out, we'll talk about that a whole other day, but I do exercise consistently. I just don't always do the exercises that I know would eradicate back fat. But that has been a challenge for me. And I know that wearing a jacket, especially a longer jacket or cardigan, can camouflage. So keep that in mind, and keep that as a secret weapon too. Now, my 5th tip is avoid clingy fabrics. I kind of mentioned this a few minutes ago, and here's what I mean by that. There are so many different types of fabrics, but the way the fabric hangs on your body and drapes against your skin is what you want to pay attention to. And what I've noticed over the years is there are certain knits that they'll grab every lump, bump, and bulge and really amplify it. They'll draw attention to it. But when you can choose fabrics that do what I call gracefully skim the body, they don't grab. They just flow right over you, and they don't show off all the lumps, bumps, and bulges. And so fabrics, what I like to recommend is fabrics that have what I call substance. They're not super lightweight, super floaty. Now, this is true especially for knits. When they have a little substance to them, they tend to stand away from the body a little bit more. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want you to wear stiff or crisp fabrics that stand away from the body. Although maybe in a jacket or a 3rd layer that could work. But when it comes to your tops, that's not going to be the most flattering. But you do want fabrics that just gracefully skim the body. That way, they're not clinging, they're not grabbing, they're not tight, they're not drawing attention to every lump, bump, and bulge. They're just helping you to look beautiful and fabulous, and they're moving with your body. That makes all the difference. So tip number 1, draw the eye upward. Bright lipstick, beautiful earrings, great makeup, do your hair, wear bright colors on top. Tip number 2, wear clothes that fit. Make sure the rise of your pants is right. Make sure your blouses or tops aren't too tight, because that is a recipe for a bad day right there. Tip number 3, wear tops that gently skim the body and camouflage a muffin top. And that could be with a bubble hem, doing a half tuck. And I'm probably going to shoot a video soon about doing a half tuck. So look for that. And a front tie at the waist that doesn't draw attention to the waist. Now, actually, one thing tip number 4, wear layers, whether it's an underlayer of a smoothing tank or an overlayer of a jacket or a cardigan. Sometimes the power of layers can help to camouflage and smooth things out. Number 5, avoid clingy fabrics. This is true for most everybody. Avoid clingy fabrics. It just doesn't work as well. And generally clingy fabrics are very cheap fabrics. Don't go for those. If it's really clingy, unless I'm not talking about like a spandex yoga pants or something like that. I'm talking about a lightweight knit that just kind of isn't supposed to cling to you, but it just does. So those are some of my best tips for masking the muffin top. And I hope these work for you. I hope you'll try these out. I want you to go follow me on Instagram, Style by Mary Michelle. Send me a DM. Let me know which tip resonated with you and which one you tried. And I'd love to know. I'd love to know if these were helpful to you. But as I mentioned before, being over 40, we women in midlife have things, I don't know, midlife, midsection, it just kind of goes hand in hand. And having a few tricks up your sleeve can really make a difference. I have so many women ask, how do you mask the muffin top? How do you dress your middle? How do you cover your middle? So just know you're already beautiful. Whether you have a muffin top or not, you are gorgeous just the way you are. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Let me know how I can support you. So reach out to me, go leave me a 5-star review on iTunes and DM me on Instagram and let me know what your biggest takeaway was and which of these tips you're going to try first. So ladies, have a beautiful day. Remember, you are more than enough. You're already beautiful. Just love on you today. So I love you. I will see you next week. I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye.